Welcome back. So today for our deep dive, we're looking up at something you've almost certainly seen, probably loads of times, but maybe never really thought about. Open cell ceilings? They kind of blend into the background, but there's this interesting mix of like art and science going on there.
Right.
Often hiding some surprising functions behind just the look. Okay, let's unpack this
Yeah.
to figure out what they are and why they're actually used so much.
Absolutely. And it's funny, they look quite simple, maybe even just decorative, but there's actually a fair bit of engineering and purpose packed into that open design, more than meets the eye.
Okay, so open cell ceiling. What's the core idea there that makes it different from, just a regular solid ceiling? What does open cell really mean in practice?
Well, picture a kind of 3D grid hanging overhead, usually made of metal blades crossing each other. It creates this sort of permeable layer.
Permeable. Okay.
Yeah, so it's open in that you can often see through it to the space above, or at least light and air can pass through easily. It's not just about looks, it fundamentally changes how the space feels and works. More modern, definitely less heavy.
Yeah, you definitely get that feeling of more height, more space, almost like looking up through a lattice. And you see them a lot in busy places, airports, offices, malls. So they must be pretty tough, right? What materials are we talking about?
Good point. Durability is definitely key. So typically you're looking at metals. Aluminum is very common, or steel. They're strong, they last.
Right.
But the clever part is they're not just, plain metal. You can get all sorts of finishes. Coatings that mimic wood grain, different metallic sheens. You can even get antimicrobial coatings for places like hospitals.
Wow. Okay. So super versatile on the aesthetic front, too.
Exactly. Architects can really blend that high-tech function with almost any design style they're going for.
Interesting. Okay, but ceilings do more than just look good and be strong. They affect the sound in a room, right? How does an open design handle acoustics? It seems counterintuitive, like sound would just pass right through.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But actually, this raises an important point about acoustics. They're often specifically engineered to absorb sound waves.
Really?
The shape of the cells, the material itself, it helps break up and trap sound, reducing echoes and reverberation. It can make a big difference in taming noise in busy environments. And some systems even go a step further. They have these little acoustic infill pads, basically sound-absorbing material tucked discreetly inside the cells.
Ah, clever. So they actually improve the sound quality.
Significantly, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially important in those large commercial spaces.
Makes sense. And sticking with practical things, that openness must help with airflow too. Ventilation.
That's another crucial benefit, yes. That open structure means air can move freely up into the plenum.
The plenum.
Yeah.
That's the space above the suspended ceiling, right? Between it and the actual structural ceiling or floor above.
Exactly, the void up there. Allowing air exchange with that space is really important for HVAC systems. Heating, ventilation, air conditioning. It helps with heat dissipation, general air circulation, keeps the air quality better.
Especially in big spaces with lots of people, I guess.
Precisely. Very important for overall building performance.
Okay, another really practical thing, especially in commercial buildings, lighting. How do you integrate lights into this grid system without it looking messy or, ruining that clean, open look?
They're actually designed with that in mind. It's pretty seamless most of the time. You can fit lights directly into the grid cells themselves.
Oh.
Or you can mount spotlights that interact with the grid pattern, or even place linear lights above the cells, shining down through them for a kind of backlit effect.
Lots of options then.
Yeah.
It maintains that clean look while still giving you flexibility.
Exactly. Lighting designers have a lot to work with.
And thinking about that space above again, the plenum maintenance must be a factor. Getting access to wiring, pipes, ducts, all that stuff hidden away. How do these ceilings help with that? Because getting into a solid ceiling can be a nightmare.
Now, that is probably one of the biggest functional wins for open cell ceilings. Access is incredibly easy.
How so?
Because they're suspended, usually on a fairly lightweight grid, you can typically just lift individual panels or sections out easily.
Like little trapdoors everywhere.
Pretty much. So for maintenance crews needing to get to wiring, plumbing, sprinklers, whatever's up there, it's simple. No need to demolish huge sections of ceiling. Makes repairs, upgrades, inspections much, much easier.
That's a huge practical advantage. I can see why facility managers would love them.
Definitely a major selling point.
So putting it all together, it's pretty clear why these are so popular, especially in commercial settings. Offices, shops, schools, transport hubs. You get the modern look, but also all these practical benefits baked in.
That's the takeaway, really. You've got that distinctive open look, loads of design versatility, usually durable metal construction.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the crucial acoustic performance, better airflow, the seamless way you can integrate lighting,
Right.
and of course, that super easy access to the plenum for maintenance. It ticks a lot of boxes for modern architecture.
It really does. And this raises an important question, maybe for you listening. How often do we just walk through buildings and completely overlook these kinds of intentional design choices?
Yeah.
You know, the hidden cleverness in things like ceilings. It makes you appreciate how aesthetics and sheer practicality get woven together in the spaces around us.
It's true, and it's worth remembering, like with many building products, the exact features, the acoustic rating, the type of grid, the finish options, they can vary quite a bit between manufacturers and specific product lines.
No quite.
So if you were ever considering using an open cell system for a project, the best advice is always to talk with a professional, an architect, a designer, a contractor. They can help make sure you get a system that meets all the needs, both how it looks and how it performs. There's always more detail just above your head.